every time that mindful breathing or gratitude practice is talked about, it's always talked about in a very complicated manner. And then when I go back to Manila, I'm just like, wow, this is crazy that we have to deal every single day. Welcome to Adulting with Joyce Pring. Watch the full video of this episode on my channel, www.youtube.com/JoycePringTV. And if you want to level up your adulting game, check out joycepring.com/collections for my digital products and courses. What's up, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Adulting with Joyce Pring! Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today is a special episode because this is dedicated to all of my listeners and watchers dyan na laging nakikinig ng podcast ko while you are dealing with commute stress. Guys, anybody can relate? Yes, lahat ng mga nandito, mga taga Metro Manila. This is something that I feel like everybody can relate to, especially if you live in Metro Manila. I have been a Manila girl my whole life. And so I was living in QC in Quezon City for the longest time. And then I moved to Makati when I started working and when I got married. I also lived in Pasig for a while. And let me tell you, I have just been so used to the commute stress, to the traffic stress, that I didn't really know how bad it was until I finally moved out of Manila. So in 2020, when I got pregnant with my first baby, we moved out of Makati to live in Santa Rosa in the south because we were like, we need some fresh air, we need some space para it's giving. Am I using that right? No? Yeah, para it's giving. It's giving suburban. So I had to do that because it was just so stressful in Manila, and I was pregnant and I needed the space to breathe. And then when I go back to Manila, I'm just like, wow, this is crazy that we have to deal with this much traffic every single day. So today, because I know this is the reality, it's giving ambulance, guys. So since this is a reality that all of us deal with, I wanted to share with you productive ways to cope with it. And those are 5 productive ways to cope with commute stress. And let me tell you, these are things that I've actually practiced, especially because I was a driver. I drove a lot when I was still living in Manila. I commuted a lot. Even when I started working in TV, I was still commuting. I was taking the bus to go to different places, taking the taxis, the jeeps, tricycles, everything. And I wanted to share with you some of the tips and tricks that I have to deal with your commute stress para cool ka lang palagi, para relax ka lang, okay? Tip number 1, mindful breathing and gratitude practice. I know this is something that you often hear, but I think every time that mindful breathing or gratitude practice is talked about, it's always talked about in a very complicated manner. And mindful breathing doesn't have to be complicated. All you have to do is to take a few seconds. You can even set a timer on your phone or go on those mga YouTube videos where it teaches you or guides you through a breathing exercise. And you could definitely just do that. Or you could also do just something so simple, which is what I do whenever it's traffic and I can already feel the anxiety rising up within me. So for breathing exercises, it could be something as simple as taking a few seconds and slowly breathing in, holding your breath for a little bit, and then slowly breathe out. And sometimes what I like to imagine also is going through like a square in my brain. So kind of just having that dot make a square in my brain while I'm doing the breathing. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And it really helps me relax. I also do this whenever I'm traveling and I feel very anxious. I used to have panic attacks kapag nagta-travel ako at night and it's very dark. So breathing exercises really helps me. Another thing that you can do, as I mentioned, is a gratitude mindset shift. So shift your focus from the stress of commuting to gratitude by practicing gratitude towards your journey. Take a moment to reflect on the things that you're grateful for, whether it's the opportunity to work or to study or the support of your loved ones. This is not to romanticize the current stress and difficulty of your commute, but to really just be able to help yourself cope with it better, because it is the current reality and we can't really do anything about that particular reality. But what you can change is your response to it and how you can make things better for yourself so that you're not anxious, you're not stressed, and you're not going through the difficulty as it is while also piling on the stress by being so worried about it. Tip number 2. Listen to podcasts and audiobooks. I know that many of you guys already know this because we've seen you message us about how your commute, your morning commute is with Adulting with Joyce Pring, or you're driving and you're listening to this podcast right now. But for those of you who don't yet do that, you can line up and download your favorite podcasts before you leave the house and your favorite audiobooks before you leave the house. Turn your commute into a learning experience or an entertaining escape by listening to podcasts or audiobooks. I personally finished a lot of audiobooks, when I was still driving around in Manila because that was really my only chance to get into self-improvement and to read as many books as I could possibly. And now, even when people ask me, like, how do you still get to read a lot of books? It's only because I do it with audiobooks. So I would always have an audiobook in the car when I was driving before, and I finished like maybe 4 or 5 books in a few weeks just because I was stuck in traffic so much. So even if the book was, let's say, 8 hours to 10 hours, I could finish that so easily. I could actually focus on it and really think about what the author is saying because you're stuck in traffic and there's literally nothing else to do. So instead of scrolling on your phone and, looking at social media, you can use this time to really explore and learn new things. I love audiobooks, and you could also listen to your favorite podcasts. And now you can even, maybe listen to Adulting with Joyce Spring and watch it on YouTube if you want to. It could also be something that's very entertaining if you like. I love listening to audiobooks that are very funny or have authors that are very good at painting a visual picture through their words. So that could be something that might interest you. Engaging your mind with these audio treats can also really help make your commute more enjoyable and more productive. Tip number 3, try learning a new language. Turn your commute into an opportunity to learn something new by picking up a language learning app or podcast. Use this time to practice vocabulary, listen to dialogues, or repeat phrases. Not only will you make productive use of your commute, but you'll also enhance your language skills along the way. I was not a believer of this before, but Wancha now is on, I think, day 385 or something of Duolingo. It's amazing. So this learning a new language thing started last year when Wancha and I and Eliam went to Europe, and he was like, I want to study Spanish. So we did it like for date nights. Nagkaroon kami ng Spanish teacher. And then eventually I got caught up with taking care of Eliam, and then I got pregnant, ganyan, ulit with Aggie. So I wasn't able to do this anymore. And he was on Duolingo, which is like a game app where you can study a new language. So he was studying Spanish. And then when we went to Spain, I kid you not, he was actually conversational with our tour guide. And I was so blown away because I didn't think that you could actually learn a new language through the app. I was just like, he's Wancho. He loves playing games on his phone. He loves playing games on his PS5, which I got him. Dahil na-surprise natin siya. But now I saw that pwede pala yun, when we're stuck in traffic, when we're not doing anything, he's on this app learning a new language. And you could actually do that if you want to be able to increase your vocabulary in a different language, even if it's just English language, if it's not something that you're very familiar with, or you want to understand business English, which is so different from just casual conversational English. This is something that you can try. Tip number 4, productive mindset. Instead of viewing your commute as wasted time, reframe it as an opportunity to be productive. How do you do this? You can use this time to catch up on work, your emails, maybe even brainstorm ideas. Actually, when I'm stuck in traffic, that's when I got a lot of good ideas because I'm just thinking, I'm not scrolling on my phone. I'm just leaving space for my brain to breathe. Or you can also plan your day ahead or plan the rest of your week. Use your commute to plan and set goals for the week for the week or for the day. And whether it's related to work or personal projects or self-care, jotting them down or using a task management app can really help you stay organized and make the most of your time. With the right mindset, your commute can become a valuable part of your daily routine. So I actually do this the night before, but you can do this while you're in your commute early in the morning. You take three major things that you want to be able to achieve for the day. So tatlo lang, limited to three major things that you want to achieve, and then three minor things that you would like to get into if ever natapos mo na yung three major things that you're already planning to achieve. And just by having a visual reminder of what you're supposed to do instantly makes it easier for you to actually achieve them, because what your eyes see, your mind will be able to focus on and concentrate on. So instead of having like a general idea na, oh yes, I should do this email, I should make this presentation, I should get on that homework, if you don't jot that down, it's less likely for you that you'll actually get to finish it, because you don't have a visual reminder of what you're supposed to do. And your brain works better when you have directions, because your brain is constantly working and thinking of things to do. So by having that visual reminder of, okay, these are the tasks, major tasks that I need to focus on, and the minor tasks that I'll eventually do if I get to finish these first three things, then you'll be more productive. So make it as a chance for you to really think about what are the things that you can be productive on. Commute and having this lull time also in traffic is a time that I really either, I think about ideas. If I'm currently working on a project, so let's say right now I'm working on a project wherein I get to coach other content creators or small business owners on their content creation journey or in their public speaking journey, I would take this time of just commuting, of just being in the car, to write down ideas for the project. And I'm not going to shoot down anything. This is the time for you to really just write them down. Any good or bad idea that you can come up with, just write them all down and don't filter it just yet, because this is not the time for you to say, okay, this is a bad idea, this is a bad idea, this is a bad idea. You can just write them all down and see where that gets you. So it's a really productive way of reframing your time of just being stuck in traffic and in your commute. Tip number 5, and my final tip for today, is to have a self-care on the go. This is so underrated and I don't think anybody talks about this, but having a self-care kit is so important. So keep a small bag of essentials like a travel-sized lotion, lip balm, or even face mist to pamper yourself during your journey. Taking care of your physical well-being can have a positive impact on your overall mood and help you relax amidst the hustle and the bustle. So I personally have a self-care kit on the go. Anybody who knows me has seen this. I have a little bit of lip balm. I have a comb in there. I have my essential oils. I have the balm that I use whenever I have headaches. All these other things that I have. Panali ng buhok, lotion, face mist. Name it, girl, I got it on my self-care kit. Meron pa nga akong nail cutter dyan eh. Kasi parang just to make sure that wherever I go, I have this little self-care kit. It helps me really take care of myself. So part of my self-care kit also is making sure that I have snacks in there, not just for my hygiene and for my skincare, but also because when you're taking care of littles, when you're working, when you're busy, when you're traveling a lot, it's always good to have snacks and even Mentos in there to make sure that you are fresh and you're ready to go. These little gems can work wonders during your daily travel adventures. Not only are they a delicious and refreshing treat, but they can also help you recharge, boost your energy levels, uplift your mood, and improve your focus. Mentos can be the perfect on-the-go treat when you're feeling hungry while commuting. Coping with commute stress is all about finding what works for you. These 5 tips that I gave are just the starting point. You can even share with us kung meron kayong sariling mga tips and tricks na ginagawa nyo para hindi kayo masyadong ma-stress pag nagko-commute kayo. So feel free to explore and discover your own techniques on having a stress-free commute. And don't forget, Mentos can be your trusty companion during these moments. It can help you recharge your energy, uplift your mood, and provide that quick treat when you're feeling hungry. Say no to stress, say yes to fresh with Mentos. And since Mentos is our partner for this episode of Adulting with Joyce Pring, we have a giveaway. So guys, napakadali lang ng giveaway natin. This is all you have to do. First, share the most sabaw or hectic commute experience and how you were able to survive that. I recently went through one and I'm gonna share that with you next time. Pero I want to hear your story. Next, tag us at Joyce Spring and at Mentos Ph on your IG post or your IG story. The best kwento will receive a package from Mentos. So guys, isend nyo na yan. That's it for today's episode of Adulting with Joyce Spring. I hope these tips will help you transform your commute from a stressful experience to a productive and enjoyable one. Thanks again for tuning in, you guys. Join the giveaway and remember to connect with me on my social media at Joyce Spring. And of course, join our Facebook group, Adulting with Joyce Spring. Stay tuned for more insightful episodes where we navigate the exciting journey of adulting together. Take care and paalam! That's it for this episode of Adulting with Joyce Spring. If you liked this podcast, please don't forget to use the hashtag Adulting with Joyce Spring and also check out www.joyspring.com for the show notes and tag me on social media with you know it at Joyce Spring. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Paalam!